Good evening and welcome to the news. The proposed new legislation governing the Seychelles Broadcasting Corporation has now been published in the official gazette. The SBC Bill 2026 sets out a new legal framework for the management and oversight of SBC, and it replaces the 2011 law, which was modified in 2017. The bill will need to be presented to the National Assembly for approval. SBC will give its reaction on this new bill in the coming days. Cabinet has approved three initiatives which are amongst several decisions taken during its scheduled meeting yesterday, chaired by President Patrick Emini. They have to do with living wage, education and skills development, and temporary entertainment license.
Cabinet has approved plans to introduce a living wage system to help workers and their families achieve a decent standard of living. The Ministry of Finance, with support from the ILO, will study the real cost of living in Seychelles by looking at essentials such as housing, food, healthcare, education, transport, childcare, and social participation. It also approved the creation of the National Professional and Technical Education and Skills Development Council. The council will oversee and guide technical and vocational education programs to ensure they match Seychelles' labor market needs and national development priorities. And the third initiative, a new temporary licensing system that was approved to support tourism, culture, and entertainment businesses. Existing venues and event organizers will be able to apply for temporary entertainment licenses with rules covering operating hours, security, safety, age limits, and venue capacity to reduce noise and disturbances for residents.
Although the Access to Information Act was enacted in 2018, some officers in public service and members of the public still lack information on how they can obtain certain information to help them in their work or for personal decisions. To continue its efforts to educate people on access to information, the Information Commission held a session with officers from various organizations and members of the on Pralin. Among the topics discussed were where they can go to obtain information, the procedure to request that information, what type of information can be accessed, and what to do if they do not receive information they feel is very important to them.
We are stressing also on the aspect of exemption to make sure that our participants understand that although it is a constitutional right to have access to information, but there are certain exemptions also that protects an individual's personal information, and also for businesses, for instance, if there is an aspect of having access to information that will be of disadvantage to them in terms of competition, that this is also protected under the Act.
Seychelles has officially joined the United States Partnership Program following the signing of an agreement with the New Mexico National Guard. The State Partnership Program is a joint security cooperation initiative led by the U.S. Department of Defense and the National Guard. Through this new partnership, the Seychelles Defense Forces and the New Mexico National Guard are expected to strengthen existing cooperation through training, exchanges, and build long-term collaborations in areas of interest.
We look forward to discovering how our combined talents can strengthen our shared security goals. The Department of Defense State Partnership Program connects National Guard with partner nations worldwide. Operating for over 30 years, the global roster now includes well over 100 nations. Today, it is our distinct honor to officially welcome Seychelles into this program. We are eager to share our history, traditions, and military experience to promote greater understanding and prosperity between our united cultures.
Through this program, Seychelles stand to benefit in several important areas of cooperation, including professional military education, humanitarian assistance and disaster response, maritime and border security cooperation, cybersecurity collaboration, operations planning, and many other areas that may be jointly agreed upon by both parties in the future. As a small island developing state situated in a strategically important maritime region, Seychelles highly values partnership that contributes towards enhancing our national security capabilities, resilience, and preparedness to address both traditional and emerging security challenges. This partnership, therefore, comes at a very significant time for our defense forces and our country.
That's it for the news. Thank you for your attention.